Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're here for the ESL India Premiership. It's Starter Cup number 2. A knockout matchup today between Blank and Infamous. The tournament, of course, organized by Nordwind Gaming. It's the second leg of the online phase. I'm CloudX. I'm going to be solo casting this one once again for you. And a big warm welcome to everyone tuning in. We're now watching Blank on the Dire side. They won the toss and opted to stick to the Dire. Infamous, they decided to go with the second pick. So ideally you'd want to go with the first pick to get one of the heroes that you really favor, possibly the Beastmaster or maybe even an early Phoenix pickup, but we're already seeing the Beastmaster and the Lifestealer getting banned out by Blank, while Infamous, they've actually spelt their name wrong, or at least the word Infamous is spelled wrong. I'm pretty sure there's an O after the M, but yeah, they're gonna ban out the Bristleback as their first ban. Let's see what they opt to remove next. I do feel like a Phoenix ban is very justified here. If Blank knows what they're doing, we should see them pick up the Phoenix as their first pick if given the opportunity. Alchemist gets banned. First pick on the board for Blank. And give it to me, baby. Give me the Phoenix. No, they'll go with the Disruptor. Well, I guess I can get behind that. Disruptor. Well, while he may not be as effective as the Sunray Kamehameha, the Glimpse, a factor that definitely cannot be ignored, and that really does make Disruptor a force to be reckoned with, especially when you get those smoke movements in the mid-game phase where you spot out a hero on the enemy cliff and you manage to glimpse them right back into range for a gank. Infamous, though, starting off with the Silencer as their first pick. Very unconventional, a hero that hasn't been given much love in the current meta, but Infamous still opts to first pick him here. So we're not seeing standard meta Dota coming out here. These teams, well, I'll be honest, I haven't really heard of any of these players or teams before, so they are looking to get recognized and get noticed here. And towards that effect, they'll be forging their own meta, learning from their own mistakes as well. Well, I mean, I say that because Infamous's draft is a little unconventional, but Blank, they've gone with the tried and tested. Standard stuff from them so far. And they still do have room to pick up the Phoenix if they really want it, or they could get one of those roaming supports like an Earth Spirit or a Bounty Hunter, maybe even a Ricky, if that's their cup of tea. Infamous goes with the Lich though, so now they've got a Lich Silencer support duo, which means they could run this Lich at the middle lane as a dual lane with possibly a Spectre, or anyone really can run with a Lich at mid. That sacrifice just allows you to out-level the opponent middle laner quite heavily. But there's no lockdowns right now on the side of Infamous, and Blank immediately picking up the Sven, a hero that really excels against heroes that can't stunt your mobility. And the Silencer and the Lich, all they can really do is slow him down a little bit, but it's really not enough, especially if the Sven gets his Blink Dagger in good time. We'll have to wait and see if this is going to be one of those stacking farming Svens or the early team fight Svens with a Blink Rush or maybe a Helm into an Echo Saber first. Well, Darkseer does get banned out by Infamous, so they're going to remove that one tool that the Sven could have had for mobility, the Surge from the Darkseer. Really helps him to get in position early on and beat down on his opponents. But Infamous, now third ban on the board for them. They should have noticed that Infamous is already... Sorry, Blank has the third ban on the board for themselves. Infamous has already picked up 2 supports, and yeah, Blank will do the right thing. They'll start banning out cores with the Death Prophet being removed first. So no silence available from the Death Prophet, less physical DPS from the Exorcism. It's a justified ban from Blank, but let's see what they choose to run on their own middle lane now.
10 seconds remaining.
For mid options, Blank could run with the Queen of Pain and Ember Spirit perhaps. If they want something tanky, the Dragon Knight fits the bill. But I do feel like the middle laner will be picked up last here from both teams actually, or at least Blank should be looking to pick up their mid last. They've got an Enigma ban coming out against them, so that's not an option. A jungle Enigma not going to be played here. As far as offlaners go, there's still pretty much everyone in the pool apart from, well, a few of them. The Darkseer, Bristle, and the Beastmaster have been banned out. So we could see a Nature's Prophet coming out from either team actually. The early mech wouldn't be a bad option. Alternatively, they could go with the Timbersaw if they want that mobility and burst damage. A BKB Timbersaw would be pretty great versus the Silencer, I have to say. But it does work both ways, because the last word up against a Timber that needs to constantly spam out his spells and be mobile with the Timber Chain, he could be shut down pretty hard if he's slipped by the last word before he gets that BKB. Windranger will be the ban from Blank. I like this ban coming out from them. The Windrun is pretty darn great versus this Sven, who isn't really a natural MKB builder, so he won't have too many tools to go through the evasion on that Windrun. However, the cleave does still hit the Windranger if you're attacking another target and she is within the cleave range, despite being under protection from the Windrun. Infamous has a third pick on the board, and they should have recognized that Blank is trying to to set up their draft in a way that really favors the Sven and allows him to just go ham in the mid game phase. If they've noticed this, they should be looking to get some lockdowns and disables, and towards that effect, I feel like a Batrider would be a great choice as their own offlaner. Alternatively, what could they get here? I'm trying to think. Now, we have seen the Nature's Prophet work with the Sprout up against the BKB Sven, but one Quelling Blade just fixes that. So I don't think that really is the best choice coming out from Infamous. But if they want to try and fight fire with fire here, they could probably pick up the Spectre and then run that dual lane it made with the Lich and Spec. That'll allow the Lich to move to the neutrals, the Ancients every now and then to check if Sven's moving into stack or farm. But they'll get the Void, so there's the answer to the lack of mobility on their team. Now the Chronosphere, arguably the most reliable lockdown in the game. It stuns you regardless of what buffs and debuffs you have on you, be it a Repel, a BKB, doesn't matter. A Chronosphere will stop you right in your tracks. But that said, now the Disruptor and the Phoenix, they're both really good tools to deal with the Void and his Chrono. If either of these two heroes can stay out of it, the Disruptor, he can glimpse the Void right back, or maybe even drop a Static Storm on top of the Chronosphere, preventing the Void from doing damage inside it. And, well, if the Phoenix is kept outside the Chronosphere, it's pretty darn obvious. He's just going to start burning down the Void with the Sunray while healing up whoever's been caught inside the Chrono. And if push comes to shove, he could even drop the Supernova just on the periphery of that Chronosphere. But all this works while Global Silence is down, because once the Silencer has his ult online, everyone's going to be stopped in their tracks, and with the Chronosphere to hold them in position while the Silence works against those outside it, Infamous in theory does have tools needed to take successful team fights, but they are heavily reliant on these long cooldown ults, because the Chrono Silence, the Global Silence and the Chain Frost, all with cooldowns in excess of 100 seconds, I believe. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what they're going to go with next, because it's fourth pick and they've got only 20 seconds on the clock to take a decision here. Infamous will really whittle down their time. They need a mid and they still need a core. I'm not sure if they need an offlaner or a one position, depending on where the Void's going to go. We've seen the Void run in both the core and the offlane position. But yeah, in this game it's going to be an offlane Void, as the Slok will be picked up as the carry, aka the one position hero for Infamous. I can get behind the Slok pick. I definitely feel like Slok's a good hero to deal with the Sven. He's got a ton of mobility. He's got the Essence Shift to stack up some damage up against the Sven in those long extended team fights. And with the Shadow Dance, he's also got the tools needed to scurry away while the Sven mans up, pops his God Strength and jumps in. Viper's going to be the pick from Blank. So now they've got two birdies on their team. The Fire Birdie and the Poison Birdie going out their way. But is the Viper really the best choice here? Because, well, for starters, Silencer works great versus the Viper. He dropped down the last word, and he really has no way of triggering it before its full duration. So he's going to have to wait till that silence clips him, and then he gets out of the silence before he can come back to fight. But he does have the Corrosive Skin, which works really well versus the Arcane Curse, formerly known as Curse of the Silent. So every time the damage ticks on the Viper, he's going to end up ticking back to the Silencer. And I guess it's a double-edged sword, because the Viper has only one spell in his arsenal. And when you cast a spell, the Arcane Curse duration gets refreshed. At maximum, I think the Viper can have the duration refreshed on him one time, because Poison Attack does not count as a spell. But at the same time, they've got themselves a mech carrier with a Viper, a dominant middle laner, and well, they've got survivability, but let's see if it's enough. Blank, last pick on the board. They've opted to ban out the Clinks, while Infamous bans out the Invoker. Kind of surprised that they banned the Invoker. I would have I would have been pretty certain that this is going to be a mid Viper. I don't think they're going to run it as an off-lane Viper. That just doesn't work anymore. He's not as tanky and mobile as he once was. And with a Silencer, Lich and Slark tri-lane, that Viper will not be long for life if he does move off-lane. I'm expecting a support Phoenix and a support Disruptor here. While that said, they could still run this as an off-lane Phoenix because the Slark pounce, the tether from the leash from the pounce doesn't really work against the Phoenix, especially if he has the Icarus dive. You can just break the leash and dive away, so it's not too much of a bother for him. Blank, now they're the ones thinking this through. They've got 30 seconds on the clock to determine their 5th and final pick, and they should be looking to pick up an off-laner, something that can work well versus the slows and the lockdown from the Slark. Well, the way the off lane's played now is you're a fool if you actually move into the off lane, because there's almost nothing you can do that is as effective as moving into the jungle with an Iron Talon. But no, they will go with the Tinker, so this is going to be an off lane Viper by the looks of it. And I don't expect that to be a fun lane for him. Well, Infamous, what's on their cards here? What do they need to pick up a mid, yeah? And something that works versus the Tinker. They've already lost the opportunity to pick up the Wind Ranger, the Death Prophet, and the Invoker. This leaves... Well, they're going to go with the Razor. I was thinking a Zeus might have been an option, but yeah, Razor works too. Now they've got themselves a lot of physical DPS cores, and Razor is also a pretty good tool if the Viper does end up going mid, which I highly doubt. But if the Viper goes mid, the Razor could work versus him. But yeah, Razor does okay versus the Tinker too. I'm assuming this is going to be one of those March of the Machines Tinkers and not a Laser Rocket Max build Tinker. And in that situation, I think it's a fairly even lane. Both sides should get their farm rolling. Yeah, thankfully we're going to get a resume going very quickly here. The disconnect was only short-lived as Killing Machine jumps right back in. For those of you just tuning in, you're watching the ESL India Premiership organized by Nordwind Gaming. I'm CloudX, solo casting the match between Infamous and Blank. In a best of 1 knockout here, one of these two teams will be eliminated from the tournament while the victor will move forward. We'll start off with the introductions. You've got Bad Boy on the Slark. Razor going to be handled by Saint Hero. Lich played by Killing Machine. Accelerate will be playing the Void. And Hello on the Silencer. That rounds out Infamous. On the dire side of the map and across the river, you've got Viper for Team Blank, played by Lost_Rider. Phoenix, played by Urnero. Tinker, handled by Punisher. You've got Zanbato, playing the Disruptor. And lastly, wait for it, on the Sven.
30 seconds to battle.
So as this game gets underway, let me remind you folks that you can support the ESL India Premiership by following the stream on twitch.tv/ESL India Premiership. And of course, you can follow them on facebook.com/ESL India Premiership, and on Twitter, if Twitter is your thing, at Premiership_IND. And of course, if you're enjoying my casting, don't feel shy to go and give me a like on Facebook, facebook.com/TheRealCloudX, and on Twitter at TheRealCloudX as well. Here we go. The battle begins. The lady has spoken. One bounty rune going to be picked up by the Slark, while the other one picked up by the Tinker. So Team Infamous getting greedy, trying to get both bounty runes, but they'll walk away with just one. Unfortunately, it's not going to be the Razor getting the bounty at middle lane. Well, Tinker gets his bounty. He can call out a salve if he chooses to, or he could just build that early bottle with that extra bit of gold going into his pocket. He does have a bit of a damage advantage over the Razor, who's actually opted to scale Plasma Field as level 1, which is a little questionable. In fact, Lich even making a questionable play, going with the Frost Armor, or the Ice Armor, sorry, as the first spell. Why would you do that? I'd have expected a Sacrifice or even a Frost Blast if they want to get aggressive. Not too sure what this Ice Armor is going to add, or how much value this Ice Armor is going to add in the early phases here. But the sentry battle has begun at mid. Urnero comes in, drops a sentry, gets the D-ward on the enemy sentry, but I didn't quite catch if observers were taken down at this middle lane. At top, Accelerate. He's got no more time walk available. Good Storm Hammer connects onto 2, and we could see first blood taking place here, but The ice armor being put to use there, slowing down the Disruptor and the Sven. But no salves available in Accelerate. He needs to be very careful because the Sven has another Storm Ammo. He drops it. One more hit. Can he get it off? Oh, the Void just barely gets the time walk away. Again, the Ice Armor slowing down the attack speed from the Sven. And Disruptor wasn't in range either. That was a very greedy play from the Sven, but it'll work for them. No, it won't, because Accelerate now calls out a salve. And he's back in fighting shape while the Sven is completely out of mana. Not an entire loss here. In fact, I'd say this lane is going in favor of Infamous because the creep wave is now under the tier 1 tower and Killing Machine's got level 2, so the sacrifice will start to add up towards his EXP. How's bottom lane looking though? For both teams, you've got the curse being thrown down by the Silencer time and again. But again, Lost Rider, nothing he can do besides man up and tank it. And with the corrosive skin, Viper's actually taken more damage than he's dished out while trying to harass that Viper. Nero meanwhile rotating bottom. He's opted not to put a skill point into anything. Now he's going to level up the Sunray and okay, he's going to use it defensively to try and keep a low alive. Those poison attacks. Oh, the curse! It's going to kill him off, isn't it? Just a little more. One more tick would have done the deal for him. Lost Rider, if he had one more point in the corrosive skin there, that would have been a dead Silencer. So my mistake, guys. Looks like it wasn't a defensive Sunray. Kind of got confused on which side the Phoenix was, so it was an offensive Sunray. So both birdies sitting on the bottom lane here for Blank. And Silencer's first to make a base trip. Slock will continue to lap up this EXP under his tier 1 tower. Speaking of tier 1 towers, top lane, Blank has really made a mess out of this laning phase. They're just pushing the wave time and again. And the Void and the Lich are just getting a ton of EXP under their tower here. This is not the way you want to be playing your safe lane. Middle lane, you've got Punisher, Stinker racking up some CS. He's at 13 CS, up against the 9 on the Razor. Razor does get down the Observer Ward placed close to his cliff, so that will not be dewarded. The sentry is just barely out of range. Well, Punisher, he has opted to go 2 points in the Laser and 2 in the Rocket. So it is a Laser Rocket build coming out as opposed to the March of Machines build. We'll have to wait and see if he opts to put any more points into the Rocket before starting to scale up the March though. You're narrow. He's gonna start stacking the Ancients for the Sven to clean up eventually. So he's doing his duty. While his teammates, what have they been up to? The Viper's got a Blightstone to start things off. Poison attack no longer a unique attack modifier, which allows him to build items like the Desolator. Again, we're seeing the curse coming out, but look at this. Viper, no, it's just one level in the corrosive skin, so Viper's gonna take more damage than he dishes back to the Silencer. But once he gets more points into the curse, into the corrosive skin, the Arcane Curse won't do too much damage to him, and he'll end up hurting a lot more than he takes. Now, Bottom's about to go down here, though. You've got a rotation coming out from a level 5 Razor. Still no points in the static link, but it doesn't matter. Zanbato will be going down, and that's first blood for Accelerate. But meanwhile, bottom lane looks like the Silencer did end up going down after all, with the Phoenix using the Icarus dive and the Sunray in conjunction with the Viper running him down. So it's a 1-for-1 trade, but a little more money goes into the hands of Blank by the looks of it because of the first blood coming into play. Wait for it. He's going for the Helm. So that'll be the Dominated Creep to help him stack up the Ancients early on. But it's a fairly even game so far. Just a minor lead here for Blank. 1,000 net worth and 1,000 EXP in their favor. Missed another kill, folks. Apologies for that. Silencer not having a fun time at this bottom lane. He goes down to the Phoenix yet again. Lich, he's trying to get in range for that Frost Blast, but Viper expending the last bit of mana that he had to slow down the Lich there. He saves his ally's life. And Yunero should consider going back to base after this, because pretty much all of his spells cost HP to cast. Doesn't seem like a good idea for him to stick around anymore. And so level 2 Silencer making the long walk of shame back towards the bottom lane, as Infamous has decided that they do need to run this as a full-fledged tri lane now, given how badly things have gone for him. The top 3 in terms of CS on the side of the die. You've got 36 on the Sven, 32 on the Viper, and 28 on the Tinker. Glimpse onto Accelerate. He gets slammed with the Storm Hammer as well, but the time walk allows him to get away to safety there, shrugging off some of that damage as well. So he lives to see another day and to farm up or leech EXP under his own tier 1 tower. And he's up to level 5 now, so he's got 3 points in the time walk, thus reducing the cooldown on it further down to about 12 seconds. So in comparison, the Stormhammer has a cooldown of 13 seconds. So in theory, this Void should be able to dodge every single bit of damage that the Stormhammer dishes out on him. Bottom lane, Bad Boy, he's still not up to level 6 and he can't afford to stick around in this lane too far out. The Viper and the Phoenix, this is a very dangerous lane to deal with. Both very survivable heroes and both heroes that can dish out a lot of damage if left unchecked. The fact that Viper's up to level 6 now is a cause for concern here for Infamous. Another Arcane Curse dropped down, but this Viper, he's opted not to put points into corrosive skin. He's gone aggressive Dota here with 3 points in the poison attack. That's gonna score a kill here on this Lich. The Sunray doing work, and that'll be the death of the Lich. Viper taking some damage along with the Phoenix. Phoenix is gonna get hit with the last word, but Viper still doing some work onto Hello. Icarus dive forward. He comes right back, and Viper will score the kill on the Silencer while Phoenix heads on out of there on a sliver of HP. Again, the two birds soaring high here, getting themselves 2 quick kills on this bottom lane. Suffering no casualties. It's 4 for 1 now as Blank have taken the lead commandingly. Sven even continues to farm up some stack camps close to his lane here. But we're seeing a rotation from the Razor. He's got the Eye of the Storm available and he's gone for Urinero. No Icarus dive available. It's a fairly long cooldown and Razor's rotation is on point. He secures a quick couple of kills. Both the Birdie's wings have been clipped. And Silencer will finally find a much needed return kill there on the Viper. So while things have been looking pretty sour here for Infamous, the Razor's looking fairly strong at the moment. His score sitting at 1-0 and 2. No deaths just yet. He's got a kill for his name and 2 assists as well to help out his other lanes. But the Tinker uses the time the Razor's not on the lane to continue farming. He's opted to get the levels in March of the Machines now, so he's not putting an early point into the rearm. Instead, he's hoping to get the early Boots of Travels online. Bottom lane, Bad Boy. He's finally getting closer and closer to level 6 now. Once he has that Shadow Dance available, he'll be survivable. But Chrono comes in at mid, catches out onto 2. Saint Hero, he will drop down the Plasma Field. He's got a lot of HP to work with right now. Urinero, he doesn't have the Supernova. He needs to make a run for it. The Fire Spirits did slow down Accelerate's attack speed a bit, but the time walk forward allows him to get the kill. They have a glimpse. They'll glimpse the Void right back into the kinetic field. He's got another time walk in 4 seconds time, and they just don't have enough damage output to bring down this Void. And he'll shrug off some of it with the time walk, and he'll head back to base. So the first Chronosphere being put to decent use. They'll get the kill on the Phoenix. They'll keep their Razor alive as well. And it looks like Infamous has now managed to turn the tides back in their favor. It's 4 for 4, 9 minutes in. The tables have been leveled, and the goal graph, it's stabilizing now at about a 3,000 lead in favor of Blank. How's our buddy Sven doing up top though? He's got 1500 gold now. And by the looks of it, he is going for the Blink Dagger as his first item. Does he have stacks prepped? Yeah, he's got a range creep waiting to stack up those Ancients at every 51-second mark. So his farm rate will go through the roof after a certain point. We should see him picking up the treads before he gets the dagger though. He's actually put no points into the God Strength. Bottom lane, Silencer's down yet again. Viper makes mincemeat out of him. Bad Boy, he's still not level 6, and this is a bad idea. He goes down. Double kill for the Viper. We're gonna make it a triple. Nope. Sunray will secure the kill for the Phoenix. So 3 down on this bottom lane. Again, the power of birds is undeniable. They do have the Icarus dive Phoenix, and the dive far away. Now, no, he's come back in. He does have the Supernova, and he's gonna put it to use. They want this kill on Saint Hero, but he's fairly strong himself. He'll get the kill on the Viper, but Phoenix gets the double kill anyway, as the Razor goes down in lieu of his buddy, the Viper. Overall, I'd say it's a trade that favors Blank. They managed to bring down 2 cores on the side of Infamous. They sacked the life of their Viper, but the Phoenix gets a bit more money into his bank account. And he's even cleaning up on these stack creeps here before he moves away. But the Slogs come in now. He does have the bounce. And there's that Icarus dive to break the leash that we spoke about earlier on. He's on the cliff, but has not been scouted out, so he should be able to get away to safety here. But finally, Bad Boy will hit level 6, and now the regen will start to kick in from the Shadow Dance every time he goes into Fog. Lots of pings coming out at top. Killing Machine, he's walking straight into the Sven here. He's got 2300 gold. He's still farming the neutral camps here. Most stacks have been prepped and ready to go. Bottom lane again. Hello's getting dived here. Viper going in deep. He'll get the kill. While Slock is forced to use the Shadow Dance to dodge the heat-seeking missile from the Tinker, who now has a brand spanking new pair of shoes. The Boots of Travels have come online for him. 9 to 5. 11 minutes in. Blank clearly in the driver's seat right now.
Radiant's bottom
However, they
tower
are
is
on
under
the verge of losing their tier 1 at mid. No, it's pretty healthy actually. But they're getting absolutely nothing at the moment. They've got the Chronosphere available on the Void, and they're looking to put it to use at bottom as he's steeping in. The birdie doesn't have the Supernova and needs to be careful. Jump forward, time walk along with the Chrono, catches out too. The Viper actually flew right back into it. Now Urnero's going to be able to get away. His dive cut shot by himself. He'll be going down to the Void as the Lost Rider on his Viper is about to hit the deck next. Time walk available in 1 second's time. He needs a bash, and of course he's going to get it. RN Jesus has blessed this man with a double kill today. Well, Hello manages to find a lot of intelligence in that fight as well. He's up to 6 stolen intelligence now and manages to find himself the power treads. These birdies, either they kill together or they die together. They didn't manage to get that tier 1 tower, and it is within deniable range, so a bit of a loss there for Blank
Radiant's
and a
top
minor
tower is
comeback
under attack.
for Infamous. Although they should really consider denying this
Dire's middle
tower.
is under
It's a
attack.
lot of free gold that they don't want to be giving up towards Blank. Stacks meanwhile going to be farmed up here by the Sven. So he opted to go for the armlet. He's just going for the YOLO damage build here. No early Echo Sabers coming out. Armlet, it'll add to his armor capacity and a bit more to his survivability as well. Meanwhile, Silencer, his ward placed down fairly obviously. I think Urnero should have seen that with the creep standing on the high ground. I'd expect him to call out a set of sentry wards and de-ward it sooner or later. But the damage has already been done because Sven's finished farming the stack. That is a level 11 Sven. There's a smoke attempt here coming out from Killing Machine and Hello. They do have the chain thrust, but is it really a smart idea for these two to be walking in like this? Trying to give chase here. Warcry going to be used as well. He's trying to make a run for it. He's been hit with the Frost Nova. Drops down the Storm Hammer. The Arcane Curse doing some damage. Razor runs right in, but the Armlet Toggle keeps him alive for now. Glimpse sending the hasted Razor right back. And the Armlet Toggles continue from the Sven. He'll stay alive, but behind Urnero gets a double kill. Both the Lich and the Silencer have gone down. The haste about to wear off on the Razor. And Tinker jumps into the tier 1 tower. Laser coming out. No, he's not in range, but the Viper is with the poison attacks. Punisher's looking to get this kill for himself, and he'll hold on to the Laser till the very bitter end, making it a 3-for-1. Looks like the Sven actually did die. Not quite sure how he bungled that one up. I guess you can't armlet toggle when you're up against a level 4 curse of this arcane curse. He's got 118 CS and he's still on the top of the net worth charts here.
Dire's top tower
And now he's
is
picked up a
under
blink
attack.
dagger as well. "14 minutes in and we're already going at well over a kill a minute here. 12 to 8, Blank in the lead. We've got a 5,000 net worth lead, a 7,500 EXP lead. New items coming on board for both sides though. Got the mech finished up on the Razor, so now they can team fight a little more efficiently. Void's got the Vlads as his first item online. Slark, no real progress for him, but top we could see a kill on the Viper. Tinker TP's in as well. Remember, they do have the Chronosphere available for Accelerate, but he's out here by himself, and the Pincer Trap is there. They do have a glimpse available, and they should be able to send him right back towards the Viper and the Sven. Oh, the big Chronosphere though catches out 4 heroes, and they'll even throw a global silence on top of it. That'll allow the Void to get away, but where's the follow-up now? Killing Machine's coming in. Chain Frost gonna get thrown down. This one should bounce around fairly well, but no, the Phoenix takes it along with him on the Icarus dive. This is a chaotic team fight indeed. Sven comes in, chops the Lich to bits as Razor's on the run. Wait for it. Gonna get silenced up by the Lost Warrior. Still gonna be able to armlet toggle his way out of this one. As the dust settles, it's just a 1-for-1 so far. Accelerate about to lose his life? Perhaps not. He'll time walk away to safety while Razor will juke through the cliff line and get away as well. So all in all, a tier 1 tower goes down. Everything but the kitchen sink thrown at each other. And it ends up being just a 1-for-1 trade, I believe. Well, it's actually just a 1-for-0 trade because it was only the Lich that went down there. Not sure if someone died on the side of Blank. Oh, big disconnection coming out from the Dire. I still feel like they're the ones with the advantage at this moment. They've taken down 2 tier 1 towers while they've got all their tier 1 still standing. That opens up a little more map room for them to move around and find ganks in the enemy jungle. They've even got a ward placed down to help them set up those kills. But we'll have to wait and see if they do reconnect here, because infra issues can be quite the plague if not dealt with. Before Infamous, how did they come back from this? We saw them pulling off that 4-man Chronosphere, but unfortunately for the Void, no one else was in the vicinity. Imagine a Chain Frost bouncing around inside that Chronosphere. I feel like that would have been the death of Blank right there. Disruptor actually held on to the Static Storm a bit too long there, I believe. If he'd have thrown down the Static Storm onto the point where the Void was being glimpsed in, perhaps that Void wouldn't have had an opportunity to escape that one. At the end of it all, Blank just manages to get away with 1 kill on the insignificant support, aka the Lich, who had already done his duty with the Chain Frost thrown down. Viper, he opted not to get a mechanism either, so there's no mechs on the side of Blank. They're working with the Vanguard on the Viper here. And is he coming? I don't know which one he's referring to. There's 4 heroes disconnected here, my friend. I guess so. Okay, so he has no communication with his teammates either. This is not a situation that Blank wants to be in. Five minutes. We're going to wait for 5 minutes. Hopefully they're going to come right back. Because this would be a very anticlimactic end to this game if Blank ends up with a 4-man disconnection here. Midway through, 15 minutes in, 13-8. I do feel like Blank had a very, very strong shot at this game. And I would hate to see them getting knocked out because of disconnections. Well, looks like the admin is disconnected as well, but he's back in. Hopefully. Hopefully, the rest of Blank will join in as well. No, please, no electricity issue. Okay, they've got backup. Let's just hope the backup kicks in quickly. I'm pretty certain that's not the Void's call. I think the admin is the one that takes a decision. Infamous happy to take the free win if they get it by the looks of it. They're gonna wait for 5 minutes and no more. This is just sad. What an anticlimactic way to finish this game. If it actually does end like this. Cross your fingers, folks. Put your arms together and pray that Blank's internet and electricity issues get solved. Gaben, please. Bless this team. Permit them to play this one out like true men and true warriors. So that the one true victor may emerge out of this matchup. Infamous versus Blank. One for the history books, but the electricity will ruin it. Yeah, I'm gonna get some water, guys. Alright, I'm back. Unfortunately, Blank are not. Accelerate, reminding us of the time. I wonder if Blank, if this dude just decides to, you know what, man up and try and go 1v5. Korean mode switched on, perhaps. Become a micro god at the drop of a hat. Control all 5 heroes in the game. Pull off some epic one-man wombo combos here. Controlling the Disruptor with the Glimpse, and then a Supernova from the Phoenix. All on the back of a big Storm Hammer. You can do it, man. You got this, Sven. Oh, disconnection on the other side as well. Alright, Pillage. Potato Internet Day. Today, indeed. Looks like Infamous is having issues as well. Okay, I fear that the worst is upon us here. It doesn't look like the rest of his teammates are coming back. 1v5. Go. Well, there's good news for those of you that can't watch matches on Twitch. There is an in-game ticket now available for the ESL India Premiership. I believe it's priced at 139 or something like that rupees. So it's pretty cheap, and you'll get access to a whole bunch of matches. I believe the first Challenger LAN Cup is included in this ticket as well. So definitely worth your money. You should consider buying it, if nothing else, just to support the tournament. It's very surprising to me that there's 190 teams registered, but yeah, there's 190 teams registered, but the majority of them are from India itself. So yeah, I get it, it's the ESL India Premiership, and however, the participation is open to Southeast Asia and anyone that can play on the Singapore servers, really. So I'd have expected a lot more teams from the region to participate as well, but maybe Starter Cup 3, who knows, or the open qualifiers for the Challenger will have it too. So we're already seeing some very top tier teams like Mongols and MVP Hot 6 signing up for Starter Cup number 2, and as word spreads about the Premiership, more and more teams will be expected to sign up. Okay, looks like Mac will step in. We're gonna wait for 5 more minutes. 100 rupees per hour. Give me more money, we play. I think it's fair to give 5 more minutes, but I guess there's something in the rules about how long you're supposed to wait. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I'm just a caster. Admins know they work better than I do. But hey, for those of you that have actually still stuck around, huge props to you. Thank you for spending your Friday evening with me, watching a pause screen with heroes stuck in motion. Cosplay contest. Look at this. That's a range creep cosplaying as Tinker. Freaking wannabe. Oh no, this is actually like one of those that Attack on Titan stuff. Have you guys seen Attack on Titan? There's like, is that a face on his back? Can I zoom in further? Okay, no, that's Tinker's head going in. So if you guys have seen Attack on Titan, first of all, if you haven't seen it and you plan to see it, please mute your audio because there might be some spoilers here. So for those of you that have watched the show, you'll know that Eren Yeager comes out of the nape of a Titan's neck or whatever. This is sort of like that. So the melee creep is the Titan and Tinker's Eren Yeager. coming out of it. I've never actually understood what the hell that thing is that he rides on. It's like it looks like there's something missing on this, and it doesn't really come obviously, but I mean it doesn't really strike you when you look at it the first time. But the dude is missing arms. This thing, it's like a chicken meets a dinosaur meets Roshan. He's got 2 legs. His body's so long. He's front heavy. Theoretically, I don't think this thing should be able to balance like this. There should be one of those bipeds that walks upright, like a kangaroo or something. But no, he decides to bend over, and his tail provides the balance. Well, this fat dude sits on top of him, riding him like a show pony. Volvo, please. The original one was a raptor, I believe, but this dude's probably got a cosmetic on him. Quite frankly, I'm out of stuff to talk about, so I'm just going to go looking at model viewer and looking for silly things that we don't normally see when we've got better things to do. This dude thinks he's at like a garba show or something, wearing like a frock and a fancy dress and flailing his arms around. He's bald with a mohawk. What the hell is that? That's a mohawk made of flesh. Oh god, that's some NSFW shit right there. I just realized that Razor has no legs either. Saved by the bell, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta get the dough. Okay, I think it's pretty certain that this game is not going to be happening. Blank, they're showing no signs of reconnecting here. Suddenly disconnected out of nowhere. And we've got no word. Even their 5th player doesn't know what the hell's going on. It's like they don't have their phone numbers or something. And it looks like we might just see a def win at the end of it all. Apologize, guys, for wasting your time. But I had no clue that this was going to happen here. But hey, it is the first few rounds and things like this do take place. As the tournament progresses, only the stable and the strong teams will continue and will remain in the competition. For those of you wondering who the top contenders are in Starter Cup number 2, there's Power Gaming from Malaysia. They made it to the semi-finals in Starter Cup number 1, but they ended up losing to Beyond Infinity. And there's Invisible Wings. They'll be trying again. While MVP Hot 6, already mentioned them, the team from South Korea. The sister team to MVP Phoenix, who's been making waves on the global circuit, will be participating here. And you've also got Mongols. So Mongols, one of the teams that's widely considered to be among the best Southeast Asian teams today. So we should see some pretty good Dota coming out. There's also Team Envy from Pakistan, a force to be reckoned with. There's Roar eSports from India. There's XRG. I think they made it to the quarterfinals in Starter Cup number 1. And there's Chapati Slayers from Sri Lanka. So plenty of good teams from South Asia and Southeast Asia. And I, for one, cannot wait till we get to those matches. The round of 32 onwards. I think that's when all the fun games are going to start. Or rather, the more action-packed and competitive matches will start. And of course, I can't wait for... what is this? Let's fight 1v1 and decide the winner of this match. We'll say, nice. That's just... next level pub strats coming out. Or you want to browse Facebook again? Okay, we're gonna wait for 5 more minutes now. No, the admin says it's your call, Infamous. If they want the free win, they can take it apparently. I'm not a fan of decisions like that, to be honest. I mean, it's probably in the rules, which is why we're going this way, but I'm not honestly a fan of leaving the decision up to one of the other teams here, because it should be the admin's responsibility or the organization's responsibility to force the decision upon them, rather than making the other team look like the bad guys for taking a default win. So this is why you usually have rules in place saying after a certain amount of time, if the team does not connect, you are automatically disconnected. And if then the opponent team says that we're willing to wait, we don't mind waiting a little longer, then it could be a subjective call that's taken. But by default, it should be an adios amigos call. But it looks like they're back and they're going to be online. So what do you know, folks? Apparently we are going to have a game on our hands. I'm going to take a few minutes to get a quick drink and refresh myself before this game gets resumed. And stick around. What's happening here, man? These guys are not... they're coming back. Yes! The comeback is real. Imagine if Blank actually ends up winning this game. Infamous is gonna feel so bad because the decision was in their hands. And they said, no, we will be good sports and play. Hi, 2 minutes, please. Okay, looks like we will have this game going underway, thankfully. Okay, you know what, guys? This is going on for way too long, and hopefully they're gonna reconnect soon. But in the meanwhile, I'm gonna show you guys the highlights from the first week of the ESL India Premiership Starter Cup number 2. So sit back, relax, watch the highlights, and hopefully when the highlights are done, we'll have the game resumed.
Wicked sick.
Hope you guys enjoyed the highlights, but in the meanwhile, this is still going on. Looks like one of their PCs exploded. Can you believe that? They're getting a new PC. I've never actually heard of this before. A PC exploding mid-game. This is nuts. But I've been hearing 5 more minutes, 2 more minutes, 3 more minutes for the last I don't know how long. This is just going on forever. Yay, one more's joined us. Yay, Disruptor's back. Can we have Tinker already, or can we just play this 4 versus 5 at least? It's better than 1v5. Seriously? No more pause. G. Okay, the law has been laid down. We're gonna have a 4 versus 5 matchup. Okay guys, time to get your game faces back on. We're not sure who's where. Let's just get our bearings back. Tinker's disconnected, so his boots of travels will not be put to use. He's second on the net worth charts though. That's a big blow if Blank can't get Punisher joining back into this game ASAP. Unero on his Phoenix. Starting pressure out that mid tower. We'll use the graphs to get our bearings back. You've got Blank with a 7.5k net worth lead and a 7.5k EXP lead, but now they're playing 4 versus 5. Accelerate, he jumped in forward. He doesn't have the Chronosphere, so I'm not sure what prompted him to do that. They do have a glimpse if they want to pull back the Void, but no Static Storm to work with. And Stinker will continue to survive. Infamous looks like they've decided to get aggressive. Knowing that they're fighting 4 versus 5, they're going to try and force the issue here. So they'll pop a smoke already. Chronosphere is going to come back in 25 seconds, so they might have wanted to wait for that instead. But I think this Dire Ward might have spotted out that smoke. Blank is sticking as a 4-man unit for now, with the Sven in the vicinity as well. Sven's got a lot of firepower with that armlet and the blink dagger. So if Infamous screws up here, They could get punished very heavily. Sven's even going to pop the God Strength and go for the stack. But this could be a bad move from him. Here comes the Void. Chronosphere with a static link on top of it. They've even dropped a Global Silence, but they're not doing enough damage. Sven's lost all of his damage though. He drops down the stun. Supernova even coming out from the Phoenix. But the Egg's going to be cracked here by the looks of it. That'll be a kill going in favor of the Razor. Lich goes down to the Ancient stack. Static Storm drops down along with the Kinetic Field. And here comes the disconnected Tinker doing what he can. Accelerate, time walks forward. It's a 2 for 2 despite everything that's been said and done. It looks like Infamous will be the ones on the receiving end of this blow, with Blank coming out the victors. 3 down for Infamous, 2 down for Blank, and they've just made a complete mess of things there. Slog's still alive though, and the Razor walks away with money in the bank. Well, Sven did end up dying there. He does need the power treads. I'm not sure what he's holding on to the money for now. Well, the Ancient stack is still up for grabs. We could see the Sven moving into the pit soon. However, at top lane, Unero on the Phoenix uses the Sun Ray to farm up as much as he can. Sven joins him though, and he still opted not to finish up the power tread, so he's being stingy about upgrading those boots, and that might not be the best choice. Glimpse pulling the Razor right back into the Connect field. Viper Strike on top of it. Tinker's coming in as well. They've got the laser. They'll drop it down. That should be a dead Razor. No, he's got the mech to keep himself alive, so he's going to walk away on a sliver of HP. While no one on the side of Blank dies either. Punisher. Someone is controlling him, and they're doing quite a good job of it. If he does reconnect to this game, he's going to have a lot of money to work with as well. So 3200 gold attributed to his name right now. Accelerate. More homing missiles, heat-seeking missiles, doing work. As they're just using him as a space creator. Meanwhile, sentries will find the D-ward here. Slog's Dark Pack not activating is a dead giveaway that something's up in the jungle. Sven, another 2000 gold in the bank, wondering if he goes for the Echo Saber, but please upgrade those boots before you do so. Power treads have just so much value on a hero like the Sven. Mid, again, a Void getting run down. Chronosphere catches out 3. This one's a good one coming out from the Void, but again, there's no follow-up. Lich, silenced up. Now he'll drop the Chain Frost. It's gonna bounce around with those creeps. Then onto the Viper, onto the Tinker, to the Disruptor, to the Tinker. He's a dead guy. As Zanbato can't do too much to help him out there. But again, Glimpse coming right in. They'll get the Lich, and the mech comes out from the Razor. Supernova dropped in the middle of everything. Global Silence being dropped as well. The Egg will be cracked yet again. That's a dead Lich, but a dead Phoenix as well. Now the damage being stolen away from the Viper. Saint Hero moving forward. That Sven blinks in. Gets the Storm Hammer thrown down. The cleave damage stacking up, but the bash is there from the Void, and it will keep the Sven at bay. While Bad Boy moves forward. It's still just a very haphazard team fight here. With only a few heroes dying, the Lich goes down for the Viper, for the Phoenix and the Tinker. But everything was expended there. And Silencer chooses not to join the party. Continues to farm and push out this bottom lane. He's opting to go for the Hood of Defiance this game, or the Pipe straight off the bat with the headdress already picked up. What a horrible team fight. There's just no sugarcoating it. Everyone just pressing whatever buttons they could without really thinking it through. And only 3 heroes end up dying there. Viper. Mech is overrated. He's gonna go for a Shadow Blade by the looks of it. Can't really agree with that item pickup. Now they're getting a mech on the Phoenix. He's opted to get his Midas, so he's got the level 2 Supernova online, but as we saw, if he doesn't get those Fire Spirits down on the Razor and the Slog, there's really not much that he can do to stop them from breaking the Egg. It's still 4 versus 5, and it looks like they've given up hope on Punisher reconnecting at all here. They've even stopped microing him now. Unfortunately, they can't even use his gold, so they're playing with a handicap. But they're still ahead in terms of net worth and EXP, and they continue to stay ahead as Sven continuously farms up with those ancient camps. He's going for the Assault Cuirass. He's already picked up the Hyperstone, so no Echo Saber, no Power Treads, just a straight raw assault. Hyperstone greater than Power Treads for attack speed, he says. And he'll start building towards the bigger toys. Unero, meanwhile, continues to push out the top lane with whatever he can do, but this is a lot of wasted time coming out from Infamous. They'll finally pop the smoke, but that should have been scouted out by this ward. No, it's just out of range. They might be able to find this kill on the Viper, but he's got a haste. They will need to commit the Chronosphere. He's even got the Shadow Blade, so he tries to make a run for it. Global Silence even committed, but that's a tanky Viper indeed. He doesn't even go down. He's out of there, and now it's round 2 as they'll turn around. Blank looking to turn this fight in their favor. They get the stun off on Accelerate. He's under the Static Storm Silence as well. Supernova drop. They'll get the Void. Razor on the run. Sven's going to continue with the chase. He blinks forward, but the time dilation slowing him down and preventing him from going any further and dropping another Storm Hammer. It's a 1-for-0 trade there, as Void ends up going down and even expending the Chronosphere. Blank continues to hold on to the lead here, as Bad Boy could be looking to get Urinary here. He does have the Icarus dive, so it'll be really hard to bring him down, instantly diving away there, but he's got no TP to get away from this. The best he can hope to do here is use his Midas before he dies. Oh, he tried it, but was unsuccessful. Middle lane Zanbato. He's got the Ethylence on the Disruptor, so added range on the Glimpse and added cast range on the Static Storm. Makes him a real force to be reckoned with. Oh, hello. He is indeed going for the pipe here. Recognizing the amount of magic damage to the Disruptor, and eventually, well, the Tinker would have brought if he was a part of this game. But given that Tinker's a non-factor, maybe he'll just consider getting a Glimmer Cape instead. Saint Hero, he's got himself the Mithril Hammer picked up. So looking at a possible Desolator pick coming out from this Razor. Or maybe just the BKB. I think the BKB would be the smarter way to go. And Sven. It looks like he's bought his full Assault Cuirass now. But for the love of God, he should really consider getting those power treads over and above it. Oh no, not again. Now Viper's out of the fray now. 3v5 again. Jeez, Jesus. This is just by far the worst game of the day. 60-second and resume. So we're gonna wait another minute apparently for this. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I really feel like it's a game where Blank should have been disqualified a long time ago, or forced to play 1 versus 5.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay, 3v5 it is. I'm gonna play without the Viper now, and this is really an uphill climb for Blank. They did seem like they were in the lead for a while, but okay, if Infamous is gonna play like this, they might just lose 3 versus 5 as well. Sven, he's got that blink ready. God Strength is online as well if he wants to commit. Yep, he's gonna go with it. God Strength, stun, Storm Hammer, boom! That's a dead lich. Before he can even think about coming back, he's down. Slark's got himself the Echo Saber though. So when Infamous does finally decide to group up as 5 and put the Chronosphere to good use, we should see them taking a successful fight. But if they keep getting picked off like this, that Sven is gonna get absolutely huge, and one stun on the Slark means his death. Viper is back into the game though, so finally we've got some sort of a recovery here coming out from them. 4 versus 5 at the very least. But still no sign of Tinker rejoining this game. Glimpse. Gonna send Lich right back to the fountain, so wasted time on him. Lich has actually gone straight up Staff of Wizardry. They deserve to lose for item picks like this. Well, get a Bracer, man. Get a Magic Wand. Get something to help keep you alive. 760 HP. He's just gonna get slapped again by the Sven and dead. Lots of TPs to mid. Bad Boy farming up. Lost Rider continues to farm at bottom. 25 minutes in. Jesus, this is just Indian Dota at its best.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Apologies for that, guys. Got distracted for a bit, but Zanvado is going to get killed off here as the Chronosphere comes in. There's Junero getting chased from behind as well. Now 2 down on the side of Blank. Sven's into the fray though. He gets himself a kill. It's going to be the Void that's down. Bad Boy trying to man fight his way through this. Punisher's about to get brought down, but that's a disconnected hero. Do you really want to chase him while there's a Sven just carving through the rest of your heroes here? Razors hit the deck. Bad Boy's going to jump up onto the cliff, but Sven's going to follow suit. He'll drop the Storm Hammer. There's the Dark Pack though to shrug off the stun. And the laser debuff as well. Shadow Blade going to be used as Bad Boy will turn around and walk away from this Infamous. Again, making a mess out of things there. As the dust settles, it is a 3-for-2 trade. And it's 21-15 in favor of Blank, who are playing with 1 hero less. They've continued to maintain the lead thus far. However, there was no Supernova in that last fight. So you've got to remember, they played without using one of their most crucial tools. Now they'll even find the last remaining tier 1 tower on the Radiant side at mid, as Viper claims the money for that one. He's got 2400 gold in his own account. He's fairly tanky. He's rather mobile. Does he opt to get the BKB? Hallelujah! Tinker's back. The comeback is real, and he's probably just smacking his lips, looking at about 4800 gold in his bank account. There's the Blink Dagger, and now we've got a full 5-on-5 happening right here, ladies and gentlemen. The comeback is real, and Infamous are suddenly gonna be slapping themselves for not taking the free win. Silver Edge finished up on the Viper, but there's not really any passives that he could be disabling here. I guess it's just the unstable current from the Razor, which is kind of insignificant at this point. But Viper just walked straight over a sentry ward. I did get dewarded, so they should know. I guess if nothing else, the damage reduction from the Silver Edge is great versus the Razor. 50% enemy damage reduction is pretty darn huge for 5 seconds. But Blank moving forward with the vengeance now, trying to commandeer the enemy jungle while Void's taking a beating here. Sven just laid into him, but he can't afford to continue chasing it. Maybe if Sven had the armlet toggled on in that one, he would have killed off the Void before he managed to time walk away. Misplay coming out from him. Tinker. He opted to get the Ether Lens as well as that Blink Dagger. So now that's a pretty stacked Tinker. He's at level 14, so he hasn't fallen too far behind. And yeah, I really don't know how Infamous fights back from this. They're going up against a fully stacked Sven, who hopefully will get a BKB next. He opted to get the Boots of Travel, so that's at least now he's got the upgraded boots, and he's got more mobility to join the Tinker when they want to jump into a team fight and catch Infamous unaware. And they'll get themselves the Aegis before moving up onto the high ground, but their movement has been scouted by this cheeky Observer ward here. However, it looks like Infamous does not want to contest this. They're going to give up Roshan for free. And that'll be a Sven holding on to the Aegis for the next team fight. Narrow. He's got himself another 1800 gold in the bank now. Does he go for a 4-star, or does he just opt to get perhaps a Shiver's Guard or something this game? Or maybe some utility items like the Glimmer Cape wouldn't be a bad choice either. But he needs something to shrug off the silence, so the Yules could be an option for him as well. And Blank is still trying to fight their way through this. BKB on the Razor now. So that's another tool that they can use to try and fight back. And that doesn't do much up against the Sven, who's now going to TP in towards this bottom lane. God's Strength is online. He's a little bit low on mana. Nothing that an Arcane Boot can't fix. But they're bearing their fangs at this tier 2 tower. Look at the drawings coming out. They want to smoke and go wrap around onto blank here. But they're going to be a bit too late to try that maneuver. There's the storm ammo. Oh, it's got 2 there. Can they follow it up with this? Accelerate's been silenced up as well. He's trying to make a run for it. No more mana on the Sven. The global silence comes out as well. That's just a Sven running around like a headless chicken. Now the Void with the Chrono. The Chain Frost bouncing around. The Aegis has been claimed. Urinero goes down again without dropping down the Supernova. Viper losing his damage. But Sven's back in for round 2. He's actually going to blink away. He doesn't have the God Strength. And he doesn't have a TP out either. He's trying it. But his TP is going to get cancelled. Now he's got no choice but to try and fight his way through this. The cleave damage working well versus the Razor. But Accelerate, walk him off. They're trying everything to bring down this Sven who's just trapped himself into a corner and eventually will die. 3 down on the side of Blank, none dead on the side of Infamous, all on the back of a good Chronosphere and Chain Frost combination coming out from the Void and Lich. Zanbato, he's about to lose his own life as well. Not sure what he was thinking standing around there, but yeah, he's got the TP, so he'll get away. As we pointed out earlier, the only source of lockdowns in this game on the side of Infamous are from the Void. Got the Chronosphere and the Bash from the Time Lock. Barring that, there's nothing to stop TPs. I guess you could count the Chain Frost, which mini stuns on cast. But yeah, I'm not sure if you want to commit a Chain Frost just to cancel the Disruptor's TP, and he didn't even have it to work with. He's going for an Aghanim Scepter rush, which I guess could work well, given that they're relying on it, on the Chain Frost inside the Chronosphere to do work. But speaking of Ags, we're even seeing an Aghanims coming out here for Punisher on his Tinker. So we're not seeing the traditional Bloodstone build. Meanwhile, Sven, he's now picked up a Crystallis, so he's going for the One Punch Man build here. With the crits and the cleaves. This is one of those lineups that Blank has. If Infamous makes even the slightest mistake, and if Sven gets time to pound away and get a couple of hits on a few heroes with the cleave doing work, that could be a team wipe in a matter of seconds. So Infamous has to be very careful about their positioning. But they did just show that they could take a team fight even up against the Aegis on the Sven, while being 10 to 15,000 gold and EXP behind. So they're not out of this one just yet.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Bottom tier 2 is about to go down. Hello, he does have that frost armor thrown upon him. Lich, he's finally got maxed out frost ice armor as well as the frost blast. But for now, both teams are just biding their time, slowing down the pace of this game, farming up, not confident about pushing just yet. And it's one of those games where I feel like Blank should be the ones on the front foot. We should be looking at them trying to pop some smokes and make some plays. Because we spoke about how Infamous is almost always on a clock with the Chronosphere and the Global Silence having some very long cooldowns. And every time they expend those, Blank should just be grouping up as a 5-man unit and pushing, trying to take objectives. And they're content to split push and farm. Not sure if that's the best way to approach the situation, given that there's a Razor, a Slark and a Void. Not to mention the Silencer, all of which scale really well into the late game phase for Team Infamous. Slark's already got a Scary in addition to the Echo Saber and the Shadow Blade, but what he really needs at this point is a BKB to deal with the stuns and the silences coming out from Blank. And once you get a BKB, the Supernova does literally nothing to you, even though it may be dropped right in the center with Fire Spirits thrown down. Accelerate's going for the Echo Saber. He's actually got the Echo Saber already, so he's picked up another Oblivion Staff. Guessing he's going for the Bloodthorn this game. That'll be one tool that they can use to bring down the Sven quickly, especially inside the Chronosphere. Punisher throwing missiles after missiles with Moth spams on the ground. And Slark is on the hunt. He's gonna spot out the fact that Punisher is inside the tree lines And then he'll blink away. Well, that's happening though. Bottom lane, Sven chops up the silencer. Kind of missed that kill, but I'm guessing a glimpse was utilized there to pull him back in range. Yeah, it seems so. That's just the power of a disruptor. You can't ignore an Etherlens disruptor's pick-off potential. And with the silencer down for 40 seconds, this is the word go for Blank. They'll take down this tier 2 tower very comfortably. There's actually a TP coming in. It's the Lich TPing on the front lines. Big mistake. Sven goes in, gets the Stormhammer thrown down as well. They'll manage to glimpse back one into the fountain, and there goes the Void. Damage stolen away from the Sven, but Razor's about to forfeit his own life. Tinker jumps forward. One more hit from the Sven will find the kill. Razor's down. So is the Silencer, and so is the Void. Stormhammer now thrown down on the killing machine. He'll get blown up by the Tinker's laser as well. That's 4 down on the sidelines for Infamous. While Blank has now breached high ground. We spoke about that one punch moment, and that's exactly what Blank has displayed here. They've got no casualties on their side, and they're in a position to suddenly breach high ground at this bottom lane. This will be one lane of Raxes. However, they do have tier 2 towers standing at the middle and top lane, so it looks like Blank will just have to back away after taking this and proceed to try and take some more outer towers. Infamous, they bungled that one up really badly. They're getting punished for it now. And I think by the time the Void respawns, the God Strength will be back online as well. Sven with the Boots of Travels can move up top, push out that wave, while his allies take down the tier 2 at mid and proceed to join him up top. He's actually got a full Daedalus now prepared and ready. But the courier... Okay, he's got a Daedalus plus 2400 gold in the bank. Did I look at the right hero? Yeah, he's got 2600 gold plus a Daedalus. So he could be building towards either a Satanic or a Moonshot as his next item of choice. That is an extremely stacked Sven now. And he's even got that layer of security with the buyback gold available. So the last remaining outer tower is about to go down here for Infamous. And what should have been their game is now turning into a really sticky situation for them. But they're not out just yet. They're going to pop a smoke and try and find a pick off on anyone really. Anyone that they can kill off at this point will just buy them some more time to continue farming. But no, that is the worst smoke movement I've ever seen. As they'll just smoke and stick around next to their own tier 3 tower, doing absolutely nothing. Well, maybe they'll find the Phoenix in the jungle, but the smoke's about to wear off now. There's no walls placed on the high ground, so no real love lost there. But Disruptor's already spotted out the Razor. Maybe they can force him to use his BKB. There's the Slock. He's now looking at the Viper. Global what? Preemptive global silence, but there's the Silver Edge thrown down. He's even got a Manta style accelerate, not dropping the chrono. So now they know they've got no global silence, and this should just be a 5-man push coming out from Melo. They get glimpsed right in. Looks like Silencer will survive for now, as Accelerate will not be so fortunate. He gets carved up by the Sven. Chain Frost bouncing around. Still no Axe upgrade on it though, so the bounces are limited. There's still a Void dead for 60 seconds. And this should be the second lane of Raxus taken down here. Sven's gonna blink in again. The Stormhammer catches the Razor. He'll get taken apart. The laser refracts onto the Silencer as well, doing some damage, and they'll bring him down next. Rules into the Tinker. He'll keep himself up into the air for now. Bad Boy getting forced right back. Supernova from the Phoenix as well. They just want to zone him out as much as they possibly can. While the Sven takes down the Raxes. It's going to be the second lane of Raxes and possibly the GG here, because Infamous, I don't think they have the tools to fight back from 2 lanes of Raxes down against them. 30 seconds on the respawn clock. But Blank doesn't have their cooldowns either. They really want to force this because Bad Boy Slock is just in the vicinity. But he's too scared to jump in now. He should have noticed that there's no mana available on most of these heroes on the side of Blank. They should have actually fought back here. With just the Lich and the Slock, I still feel like they could have defended a little longer. But no. Now they're going to be up against full Mega Creeps, and that's it. I think that's the game right there. Blank has taken the victory. Infamous was gracious enough to pause for much longer than they needed to. And that's going to come back and bite them in the butt. Well, we've spent a ridiculously long amount of time on this game, folks. But as the dust starts to settle, we will have a victor emerging from this battlefield. It'll be Blank taking the win. Unless, of course, Infamous can pull off something absolutely miraculous, which is next to impossible at this moment. They just can't defend against Mega Creeps. let alone a Viper who's now going to be coming in with a Butterfly and a Crimson Guard. I don't think this Viper's dying anymore. Meanwhile, Sven has 7.2k gold in the bank. He's got enough to buy a full Satanic and a Moonshot over and above it. No, well, no, clearly he doesn't have that much money. But he can buy the Moonshot and hold on to buyback money. But they'll go for the Aegis instead. God's Strength going to be used for that. No real rush to finish this game. They've waited long enough, so might as well make them wait a little longer. But top lane, Tinker, he'll get chronoed, so they'll find a pick off at the very least. Even the global silence is going to be used for this, but this is not worth it. Especially if the Tinker gets out. No blink available for him. He'll go down, but they've already blown 2 big ults. Well, Roshan's been secured. 50 seconds till the God Strength is back. But a lot longer till the global and the chrono are back, so Blank could just group up and finish this game right about now. Yeah, Moonshot's even going to get consumed here, so that's a fully stacked Sven. Once the Aegis time's out, he'll probably pick up one more item, which I would hope is the BKB. The middle lane, the push has begun. Wait for it, jumps in. Oh, perfect. Stormhammer catches out too. That's a dead Lich, and Accelerate's gonna run for it. Hello. Maybe cleave to bits as well. The time dilation slowing down the Sven quite a bit. Static Storm inside the fountain even, as it is an Aghanim Scepter Static Storm, but here comes the Slark from behind trying to do work onto Zanbaro. Looks like they will get the kill on the Disruptor. The Slark, he's got a few Essence Shift stacks stolen. Viper's just gone deep inside the fountain and cleaned up on the Razor. He doesn't give a damn, he's just trying to man fight against the fountain. All the game will now get taken down by Blank. The Ancient drops. Sven gets the final hit on the Ancient, and Blank will walk away the victors. Once again, folks, apologies for the delays. Unfortunately, as you've witnessed, none of it is in my hands. And this game has officially given me AIDS. Thank you for sticking around. For whoever has actually had the patience to stick around for so long, this is CloudX. We were watching the ESL India Premiership, and I hope you guys have been entertained. If you have, of course, do follow twitch.tv/ESL India Premiership, and we'll be live once again in the future for more Dota 2 action. I'll see you guys around. This is CloudX signing out.